obviously, Skip, I'm thinking he wants to go to a team, obviously, that has a great quarterback. He's a receiver, so he's dependent on that, although he put up some great numbers when he was in Houston and had very marginal to, below average quarterbacks.
Yep.
I think quarterback is number one, a chance to win number two, and then maybe, this is just me thinking, money is an option. Skip, the teams that, Buffalo, he mentioned on his list, Buffalo, Kansas City.
Yep.
Skip, they got $1 million, $2 million under the cap.
They do.
I know a team that got a pretty good offense that played really well last year. They got $24 million under the cap, and that's the Detroit Lions. And plus, Jameson Williams going to miss the first 6 games of the season.
Good point.
So it seems like that's the natural fit. Now, I don't, he's been, he's played in the NFC the last 3 years.
Yep.
So it's not like he's, changing the conferences. So I think the Lions, although, look, we know Buffalo, but they got, the offense is not the issue, not even for the Chiefs.
No.
But they just don't have the money. And plus, Kansas City's trying to do something with my own boy. I don't see Kansas City or Buffalo pulling the trigger, Skip, pardon the cliche. I don't see one of those teams making it happen. I'm thinking Detroit seems to me the most logical spot.
Okay, speaking of the NFC.
Don't you?
I'm going to do it. Here I go again. Feel free to laugh, to scoff, to ridicule, to poo-poo, on this if you want to. Shannon Sharpe, it just makes too much sense.
No, it doesn't.
Jerry Jones getting up there in age, keeps saying, well, my window's closing, I got to win me another one of these things. He hasn't won one since the 1995 football season. We're talking about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. Not since 1995 season has he won a Super Bowl. That was his third in a pretty short time.
Yeah.
He dominated the league. He obviously had a whole lot of help from Jimmy Johnson, if he didn't actually go along for the ride with Jimmy Johnson. But the point is, if you want to max your chances with not a great quarterback, just a pretty, I'll give him pretty good quarterback. If you want to make him the very best he can be, you swallow your pride, and you do have more cap room than Kansas City or Buffalo. You got 7, 8 million.
Yeah.
You could make DeAndre happy enough because, remember, it was just 6, 8 weeks ago. He was in Dallas campaigning. Jerry, I'm here in town training. Come get me, right?
But then he was just on somebody's podcast where he said that Dallas, nah.
Okay, all right. Well, he'd go, yeah, if Jerry made a phone call and called his,
How much?
his cell phone.
How much?
Okay, you got to take a little American team discount because you do get to play for the metallic blue and silver, right?
No.
Yes.
Hold on, I thought you said y'all had enough weapons. You love the Brandon Cook. You said CD now was a number one?
Okay, this is an upgrade because it's going to come down to this. Would you rather have DeAndre Hopkins or Michael Gallup? Help me out. And this is Jerry's pride on the line because Jerry says, I picked Michael Gallup.
Exactly.
The buck stopped on my desk. I was the one who said, go get that kid. Take him in the 3rd round. And not only did he take him, he paid him. He paid
Coming
him.
off an ACL injury.
Yes, he paid him. And last year, he never quite looked like Michael Gallup, and now they're trying to sell us. Well, year 2 after an ACL, he'll be back. Hey, look, DeAndre Hopkins is about to be 31 years of age. He's played 10 years in this league. Is he what he used to be? Not quite, because, by the way, he tore his MCL so badly that he had a PED suspension because he needed a little help trying to get back.
Yeah.
Okay, but I still look at his numbers over the last couple of years. And Shannon, even last year when he did come back, the numbers are still really good.
Yeah, oh, yeah. He catches the ball now,
And over the last 3 years, he's had the lowest drop rate in all of football over the last 3 years. Okay, we know what he can do. He's 6'1", 212. He plays bigger than that.
Yeah.
He plays like he's 6'3", right? He is a classic possession receiver. And you can, look, if you have CeeDee Lamb, he's a clear number 1 Pro Football Focus.
He ain't going to be no one over D-Hop.
It'd be 1 to 1A because D-Hop's going to be 31.
So?
Okay, CD has emerged as, okay, let them fight it out for number 1. I got it, you got it, I got it, you got it. Let them compete with each other. I would love that with Brandon Cooks as the deep threat, the legit, proven deep threat we've never had.
So I noticed you keep omitting Michael Gallup except to say he's coming off a knee injury year 2. So what's really going on, Skip? You want him to be done with Gallup?
DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Gallup. Super Bowl or not? This is it. It's a move you got to make. Okay. What did I tell you about Dalton Kincaid on draft night? It's just sitting there, and Buffalo swiped him right out from under us. So we do not have a big-time Shannon Sharpe tight end. We don't have Shannon Sharpe.
We'll play Mozzie Smith at tight end.
Okay, maybe. Okay, that's probably not a bad idea.
Is that his name, Smith?
Mozzie Smith, yes.
Okay. Yeah, play
Tyler Smith a year ago. That worked. I think Mozzie Smith's a great pick. But unfortunately, he's not Dalton Kincaid.
You remember when Portland had the second pick of the draft, and Bobby Knight said he told Portland they should draft Michael Jordan. They said, well, we need a center. They said draft Michael Jordan and play him at center. Okay. So you drafted Mozzie Smith, put him at wide receiver.
I'll buy that.
I mean, a tight end.
Okay, we got like 4 tight ends, and they try hard, and they're all pretty good.
Okay,
but we got
special.
4, and we don't. It's almost like the quarterback thing. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Right.
We have 4 tight ends, and we have none.
Yeah.
But they're all okay, and they all try hard. And you like the kid from Wisconsin. We could go on and on. But okay, now this is a possession receiver who can sort of take the place of a Dalton Schultz. It's not that he's exactly a tight end, but he can run underneath routes where you can just throw it up to him and he will snatch it like a tight end. Why wouldn't you do it? It's why Jerry finally gave in at the end last year and said, okay, let's try for Odell, but Odell wasn't ready yet. Shannon, it's sending the proverbial message to locker room, we are serious about this. Because DeAndre Hopkins is serious. Not that he's got rings, but he comes in with cachet because he's a proven big-time receiver. He's made, 5 Pro Bowls and 3 first-team All-Pro.
Are we sure that Dak is that much better than Jared Goff? Are we sure about that?
No. Okay, I'm not even going to fight you on that. I'm trying to maximize Dak's ability. You give him another weapon that he can completely, utterly trust under fire.
Skip, it's not the weapons. He just don't know how to fire them.
All right, okay, I got it. I'm just trying to say my defense is going to be the best defense in pro football, and Mozzie Smith will help hold that line, as in bottom line, as in he'll give you an anchor to that defense.
That's like somebody trying to sell you a tank. Okay. It's operational, but you don't know what you're doing. You can't drive it, so you give Dak all these weapons. And then what? When he leads the league in turnovers again and miss 5 games, so you play all 17, you already know what it's going to be.
Can Dak be a top 10-ish quarterback? Can he be like 12, 11, 10, somewhere in there? Sure he can.
Hold on. We have seen him spots during the season be a top 5 quarterback. But when you average it out over 17 games, he's normally outside of that top 10.
Okay, I got it. But you know and I know he can have his moments. Let's maximize his moments. Let's show the locker room this is it. We are going for broke here. We're going to spend whatever cap money we have left. DeAndre's coming to Dallas. We're going to put him in the metallic blue and with the star on the side of his helmet and watch him star for my Dallas Cowboys.
Well, I mean, I've been reading that teams are reluctant to email him because they feel they might be talking to an uncertified agent.
Maybe.
With that being said, notwithstanding, Skip.
Okay.
I bet your case of do y'all don't sign him.
Well, no, I wouldn't bet you because when is he's all about homegrown because his pride is sunk in drafting because he's got the final say on every draft pick. So he can go out to dinner with his friends and say, I picked him and I picked him and I picked him and look where we are now.
I mean, he hadn't had a whole lot of luck with receivers other than T.O. Skip, remember they traded the 2 first-round draft picks for Joey Galloway. They did the same thing for Roy Williams, singing Cowboy.
All right.
And it hadn't turned out well. Jared's kind of gotten out of spending big in free agency. He's gone away from that. He's like the draft.
Okay, and how did they acquire Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks? They traded for him. They traded, but they weren't free agents. They traded. Jerry doesn't like the idea of I'm buying a championship because it hurts his pride. Yeah. It takes away his bragging rights because if you just go buy somebody, it's harder to boast about that, right?
Well, that's what he did because when he got time. He put in 95 when he paid time and free agent top dollar. Okay, well, he bought it.
It's about time for another time. Do it, Jerry.
Jets and Giants supposedly very interested as well. So we will now be on DeAndre Hopkins' watch for the next couple of weeks.
Aaron Rodgers,
okay, gentlemen, back.
No, I like him with Dak.
I bet you do.
Dak is back.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.